Hunter saves it. Hunter Hughes is coming around. Here comes Colton Garner. It's Hunter Hughes!
Turn 4 for the final time. Who's got more ponies? Checkered flag out. Bluegrass 150 goes to Ian Miller.
And welcome back to the Daily Dribble Podcast, guys. As always, I'm your host, Nick Zammit.
Good, get the name out there. It's like, hey, Joseph Newgarden, you're the guy with the sperm commercial. Yeah.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to the iRacing Indy Racing World Series. I'm DJ Fluck, and we're going to get our broadcast here set up in a second. So, Taka Timmerman is normally the announcer, and about 2 hours ago, he said he had food poisoning and was not doing well, so I was supposed to be in this race tonight, but instead, I'll be calling the action from Chicagoland Speedway. I have actually driven on this track in real life, in an old Indy car, so it's a bummer that I have to watch this tonight or call it from the booth, but like I said, I've done it in real life. So this is Chicagoland Speedway in Joliet, Illinois, 1.5 miles, and the IndyCar series has not been here in some time. This has been known to produce some of the best racing, some of the closest finishes, some really good racing over the years, and hopefully maybe one day IndyCar will go back to that. So we are getting ready, and we're going to meet the drivers here shortly. While we are waiting, we'll take a look at the upcoming schedule for this week. So Wednesday Night Dash is heading to Auto Club Speedway tomorrow night, and then we have the Atlanta Night Race, which we're excited for, and then closing out the season at Texas Motor Speedway. And we are back in the truck series. We announced this during the broadcast for our GT series the other week. We're excited to get back in the trucks, and cars are about to hit grid, so we'll be going out there, and we're going to meet the drivers here in a moment. But the truck series will be introducing cautions for half the series. This is going to be exciting. And we'll be kicking off at Darlington. It will be a caution race. We'll be phasing the stage break out, but we're going to do it, just test out a couple different tracks and see how that goes. So let's head over and meet the drivers. Starting on pole tonight is Erik Richardson, followed by Dawson Buchanan in the number 3. Dawson is guest racing in the series. He's currently the leader of the Wednesday Night Dash series, and lost him for a second. Starting third, Greg Hammond in the 66. Last time out, Derek Booker snapped his long winless streak with his win at New Hampshire, followed by Ian Miller, who's currently the series leader in the number 48. And then starting 6th in the 911 car will be Bill Mulfeld. So let's take this out to Erik as we hit our pace laps coming up. Got 100 laps tonight. Cautions are enabled. We have a small field, but the racing is usually really good here, so we're excited to see. This is our first race in the new iRacing season. This is season 2, 2025. We take week 13 off as usual. to let iRacing work out the bugs. We've tried to schedule week 13 races before, and with our luck, the updates got out late. And didn't give people enough time to update their iRacing clients, download everything, and get ready. So we just say, look, we're taking week 13 off. Not going to try to rush or risk people missing out on races. And here we are. We're back. It's week 1 of 2025 season 2. As we're coming around for turn 4, we see the pace car drop in. And Erik Richardson will be leading the field to green. And here we go. The green flag is out at Chicagoland. Erik Richardson in the number 13 Showtime Esports Productions car leads the field into turn 1, followed by Dawson Buchanan, Greg Hammond, and Derek Booker round out the top 4. Dawson Buchanan moves on the inside. Does he have enough space to clear Erik? And he does. Dawson Buchanan takes the lead coming around for lap 1, and we have an accident. Derek Booker has wrecked into Greg Hammond, but the green flag is still out. Oh, that's unfortunate for Greg. Go back and see if Greg is moving again. He's back up again, and let's go back and watch that real quick. Oh, we got to go back a little bit further. Waited too long. So it looks like Derek... So Greg and Derek kind of fighting for that high line. And Derek just came down into him. That's unfortunate, but at least Greg is back up. Good recovery. And he's back and rolling. He still sits about 13 seconds back. Funny you mentioned it. Derek Booker currently has the lead. Maybe I should turn the schedule off. Wow, that was... Apologies for that. So what to look forward to tonight? It's a 100-lap race. Typically seeing pacing or pit windows about lap 50, maybe one stop. We got the Lucky Dogs. We got a green-white checkered enabled. And the previous winner at this track was Bill Colley, who is not in the building tonight. Quietly, Ian Miller has worked his way up to the front and is challenging Derek on the inside, coming through turn 1, out of turn 2, and onto the backstretch at Chicagoland. It looks like Ian Miller is going to get his lap lead bonus right there. Audio's getting picked up of the crackers, okay? And I'm not sure what's going on here, but I don't think we have race audio, but we do now. Good old Windows update, resetting all your settings on you, but and good evening to Eric Mattingly, who's stopped by in the chat. Eric is a veteran of this series, has moved on and is in the Wednesday Night Dashes. Dawson Buchanan slices right in front of Derek. Got a good back and forth, and Derek is moving in, but wisely backs off. So I guess you could hear my kids snacking on crackers in the background. Apologies for that. It's hard to find good help these days. So a little about Chicagoland Speedway. You know, this track was built around the turn of the 21st century, and had some really good racing. You know, there's always the slide job you hear about. You hear about IndyCar having really close finishes. I believe Sam Hornish Jr. won a race here one year. But at the start of the COVID, stop. Start of the COVID pandemic, you know, they took Chicagoland off the schedule and replaced it with eventually replaced it with the Chicago street race in downtown Chicago. So far outside of the one incident, you know, the drivers have been pretty cautious. So we got another 85 laps to go, and with only one fast repair, you do not want to use that too early. You know that Derek Booker is known to be very aggressive out there. He wants to win. He wants to lead laps. You can see him. He's fighting. And you know, you look at Ian Miller back there, who's won a couple races so far this season. Just kind of hanging out. You know, expect him to make a move late. Let's go in car with Ian Miller. Derek Booker has opened up a little bit of a lead. Well, he took 22 laps to get to the single file. Not surprised. Check on Greg Hammond. He's currently sitting about 14 seconds back of the pack. He really needs a caution to catch back up. I mean, he's only about 2/10 off, the main pack's pace, but I mean, he's still dropping. It's going to take a while for them to catch him, but if he wants to get back into this race, he needs to see that caution. We are moving through the season pretty quickly. After our struggles at New Hampshire, we've come to Chicago, and so far so good. It was New Hampshire. I don't know what happened there, but I mean, you saw, if you watched, there were 2 cars left for like the last 40 laps of the race, and it was really easy to just lose the back end of your car. There are these little bumps on the track that if you aren't careful going over those bumps, you lose the back end. I had an incident on lap 4, and I'm just like, I'm not going to make it. If I'm wrecking after 4 laps, I'm not making it. But we've got Pocono coming up, and the other road course trip to Mid-Ohio. Our big race at Indianapolis, Dover, and then the long extended race at Auto Club Speedway to close out the Season 5 schedule. And we take a little time off, and then we get right back in it later in the summer and into fall for Season 6. So Erik has a tentative schedule put together, and we're looking at kind of restructuring how the scheduling's done a little bit, try to balance out the road courses, the technical tracks. We can confirm that Portland will be on the schedule next season, the new release on iRacing. So that's exciting. Fun track, a lot of fun. Well, 31 laps in, Derek Booker just cruising out front. Ian Miller in second, Erik Richardson in third, Dawson Buchanan in fourth, Bill Mulfield in fifth. And then after an early contact that sent him across the infield grass, Greg Hammond currently sitting sixth, about 15 seconds back of the group. It looks like Ian Miller is going to make a move to take the lead away from Derek Booker. Is he going to clear him? Not quite. We've run all green flag tonight so far, which means we're going to be seeing pit stops here in about, we'll say, 12 to 15 laps. So if you're just tuning in, I'm not Taka Timmerman. I'm DJ Fluck. I should be down there driving tonight, but as I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Taka Timmerman about 2 hours ago texted that he had food poisoning and is not doing very well. So I ended up having to hang up the suit for tonight and jump over into the booth last minute. So I'm not prepared whatsoever. Taka, feel better, man. We need you back in the booth next week. I swore after last season when I filled in at Nashville that I would never get up here and do this again, but here I am. But, you know, it needed. So we got to keep the broadcast streak going. Impressive drive by Derek Booker tonight, and you know, he had that lap one incident with Greg Hammond. Managed to keep himself straight and on the track, and next thing you know, after we got back from watching the replay of the incident, he's up leading. So, you know, he's held the lead most of the evening. Occasionally, Ian Miller has popped in to lead a lap. Erik Richardson started on pole. Dawson Buchanan, who's filling in tonight, or stepping in. The JM Motorsports guys have been running a part-time schedule across the four of them. And Dawson joins us tonight for Chicago. We're glad to have him. And I think 3 out of 4 of them will be joining us for Indianapolis, but not 100% sure about that one. Indy's always a great turnout. I mean, IndyCar, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, of course it's a great turnout. With this fuel window, it's a tricky timing, especially when you're running 49 to 53 laps. How much saving are you doing? Do you get past that halfway mark? Do you end up having a green-white checker to add on a couple laps after the fact? You know, you stop at the halfway point. That may not be it for you. You may need to make that last second stop at the end, and you know, ideally you don't want to do that. I don't think your tire wear is too bad. We're not seeing a lot of drop off on the times from like 0.2 of a second for Dawson, 0.3 of a second for Ian, 0.4 of a second for Derek. It's fuel strategy is going to play a big factor tonight. If you're tuning in, we thank you for stopping by and spending part of your evening with us. If you're on the iRacing platform and you like racing IndyCar, want to give it a shot, we are still prorating people into the series. As you can see, we have a small field tonight. One less because I'm up here in the booth too, but we'll add you. We'll prorate you in with only, I believe, 4 races to go after tonight, if I can do math in my head, which is debatable. We'll prorate you into the series and, come in, get a head start. We give out a prize for the season champion. But, get that work in. basically we'll prorate. It's $1 for every remaining race is the broadcast fee to get you into the league, get some practice in. So head to frracingonline.com/IRWS, register, and we'll prorate you in, get you into this field, and you can join us next week at Pocono. And no! Oh no, Derek missed the pit entrance. Oh, that is brutal. I don't think he was going to slow down in time, so he ended up cutting out at the last second. He didn't hit the commitment line, so he was safe, but he lost a lot of time there. Oh, that's rough. Go blue team. All right, now here comes Derek Booker. Derek Booker and Bill Mofield. I saw Greg Hammond pit early to try to get ahead of the field. We're on lap 51, but we still have 3 with Dawson, Erik, and Ian still out there. Don't like the camera one. Here comes Dawson. And Erik Richardson is still out there. Here comes Ian Miller. Erik Richardson is the lone car to not pit. I have to assume he is stopping this time around. He must be on fumes. Unless he was really saving. No, he's not. He is staying out. So either Erik is banking for that caution, or he is trying to build up a huge lead during the green flag stops. He's lapped the field. Yep, here he comes. Now he's slowing down. Let's see if Dawson comes Dawson around turn 4. You can see Erik going into the pit entrance. Dawson has unlapped himself, as has Derek, as has Bill Mofield. Ian Miller's a few seconds back. I'm not sure if he had a bad pit stop or what happened with him. He's currently sitting about 8 seconds back. He did actually did pit later. So let's see what happens. Here comes Dawson. He has cut the lead, and Erik is still coming out of the pits. Oof. That did not play out like Erik hoped. Still exiting the pits. So I'm being told that Ian flew off the track on the backstretch. That explains why he lost about 10 seconds. So it is down to a 3-car race. Greg Hammond is trying to unlap himself and get back onto that lead lap. Greg is sliding back just a little bit, giving enough room for Derek Booker to move square behind Dawson Buchanan as Dawson takes the lead. Well, has the lead, but it is between Derek. Oh, and Derek is sliding up the track again. Oh, this is deja vu all over again. Greg has got to be... Greg's got to be nervous right now. Except that Derek's on the inside this time. And just like that. 20 seconds. Let's take a look at that replay again. Dawson just slid back to third. I didn't go back far enough. Oops. Let's try that again. All right, so there's Dawson. Just bigger runs. So last time I was up here at Nashville, we made it through the race without a caution flag. Probably announcers jinx saying that, but we made it through. Ian Miller did run out of fuel on the last lap. And are we going to have a similar situation today? Because based on the timing of these pit stops, it is entirely possible someone's not fuel saving enough that we could have somebody run out of fuel on the last lap again. Bill Mulfield quietly moving up into second, and he's moving onto the outside of Derek Booker. Doesn't quite have the run. There he goes. Bill Mulfield around the outside of Derek Booker for the lead. But here comes Derek Booker again on the inside. And regains the lead. I mean, I think this is exactly what Dawson Buchanan wants. He's sitting back here. He's probably fuel saving, and both Derek and Bill are pushing hard. As we start lap number 66 out of 100 in this evening's Windy City 150. Just back and forth between Bill Mulfield and Derek Booker right now. Bill clears. Derek leads another lap. This is a three-car race. Greg, Hammond, Erik Richardson, Ian Miller desperately need a caution. But so far, so we've completed 68 laps, moving on to lap 69. It has been clean so far. Let's take a look at Erik, see what he's up to. He's currently sitting about 20 seconds back. Ian sitting 13 seconds back of the field. Right. And I am joined in the broadcast booth by Indy Racing World Series veteran Erik Mattingly. Erik, welcome to the broadcast booth.
Thank you, DJ.
So, Erik, you decided to sit out of this series and move over to Wednesday Night Dash. And how does it feel to be watching these cars go around and not driving them?
Nostalgic and envious.
It's tough to prep for 2 races a week of 2 vastly different disciplines, and
very much.
It's just you're prepping for a NASCAR race, and you want to go out in the Indy car and try to bang around with the other cars. Like, well, can't do that here.
No. And it's funny how I would actually say that they are both polar opposites of themselves, but also identical. By that, I mean, with IndyCar, the grip that you have, you don't have to be as precise with your race.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be as precise with your braking zones and your entry points. With tracks like this, you can almost flat out drive the entire track. But if you're in a stock car for NASCAR, you really got to be careful, otherwise you'll lose your rear end. But on the other end of that, here, if you barely touch somebody else, your race is over.
Yes. We've
Whereas
seen that.
NASCAR, you don't have to be as precise. You can bump and grind.
That's correct.
But
And we're watching this back and forth between Derek Booker and Bill Mulfield, just trading the lead, as Dawson's just kind of quietly sitting back there. I'm very curious, if this stays green, will the two of them in the front have enough fuel to get to the end?
yes, and just like you had mentioned earlier, last year's race, that's exactly what it was. I feel like Ian, prior to him slipping off on the backstretch, was working that exact same thing because he remembers.
He remembers what happened at Nashville last year.
Absolutely. I feel like he was doing what Dawson is right now. Just kind of sitting in the back, letting everybody else fight out in front.
I mean, this is
But
two races I've broadcasted now, and well, Nashville went green the entire way. We're 78 laps out into this 100-lap race, and we haven't seen a caution yet.
And all 3 of those drivers not in the lead 3 could use it.
Oh, yes.
I mean, Ian could definitely do it. Ian's a dangerous driver. He is dangerous by meaning he could take a win.
Yes,
he is good.
very, very, very skilled. I mean,
So it was Richardson.
we have somebody slide off track. We get that caution thrown, and now all of a sudden you have all 6 cars back in contention.
Absolutely. Because Hammond will get the lucky dog, and he'll be right back in the mix. And I'll say this, I bet you Hammond's,
Here's something.
while he is a lap down, I bet he's enjoying not being out by himself like he was.
Oh, yes. Let's take a look back here and notice that, look, here's Erik Richardson is caught up with Ian Miller.
And you know what's funny? I'm almost guessing Ian did that on purpose.
I completely agree with you. That was my immediate thought when I saw that their gaps were almost identical, that was on purpose.
Yeah, because I think Ian was approaching 13 seconds down. I think that was a smart move by both of them. If they're, well, how many laps do we have left?
I mean, we are on lap 82, so we're running out of time.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yep, 82. Yep. So I don't know if that's going to work, but I can see.
I mean, they don't have a choice. You know, that's.
No, they don't.
Fortunately, that they botched the the pit stops. Erik tried to run it long. It didn't work out for him like he hoped, and now the bottom 3 are hoping for that caution. We're just cruising tonight.
I'm trying to watch the splits to see if they're they're making a half a second a lap now.
Uh-huh. Yep, I noticed that. It's down to just under 15 seconds.
Let's see, that would be about 30 laps. We don't have that.
We don't have
so
30 laps, but
they probably should have done that a little bit earlier. But being my teammate in our Wednesday night dash league, I am rooting for
I mean,
Dylan.
of course you are.
I have to.
He's quietly had a very, very nice race.
Yes. But I am also very wary of Dawson. He is a very good driver.
I tell you, Dawson in a stock car, the tire management, but he also has a ton of speed at the same time. And it's just like, it's just unreal. If you look at Dawson and look at like his iRating progression, he'll have weeks where he goes up by like 500 iRating points, and then he'll have like a bad week where he gets into a couple crashes, and then he'll fall like 300 points. And he just has these very, very drastic swings. And it's like, if he stays clean in these official races, like his iRating just keeps pushing up and up and up, and just very, very skilled driver. And yeah, and the thing is, this like all clicked for him. You know, last summer in the truck series, you know, he was competitive, but he wasn't running away with it. And then, you know, he admitted with the Xfinity car, like that's his bread and butter. He really loves that Xfinity car, and it just like something clicked there for him, and then he was just untouchable for the most part.
Yeah, him and Colton Gardner, both of them are definitely very, very good drivers.
Hunter Hughes as well. Hunter.
Yes, absolutely.
I think Hunter might make his appearance. You put Mid-Ohio on the schedule, that he always seems to find his way in for that. It's his home track, so be very shocked if he doesn't join us for the Mid-Ohio race here in a couple of weeks.
All I know is I was happy to get the win at our Daytona race this year, and I know Dawson wasn't too thrilled about that.
Oh, you snapped his streak on him. And
I did. I did.
I mean,
and he was right behind me too. I blocked him. I'm sorry, Dawson. I love you.
Right.
You are really good, but I was taking a win.
Hey, you know what? You got to, you get that opportunity to be out front at Daytona, and there isn't a massive, giant crash, you're involved in. You got to take it.
You mean like Erik Richardson, like 5-6 cars back?
Yes. All right, we're into the last 10. Erik and Ian have cut it to 12 seconds, but just not enough time. Are we going to see that caution?
I don't think we will. Not unless it's going to be the last lap. Maybe 2 laps.
And that really will change things up. You know, we get into that green-white checker.
Booker going for it.
Yes, he is.
Dawson going to choose to stay high line.
He is staying high. Dawson, he's getting ready to make his move. He just not yet.
Hammond just happy to be there.
Yep.
I would be too.
He's just like, I'm waiting for somebody to run out of fuel and cause a crash, and then I can take my lucky dog. You know, I think that's exactly what's going through his mind right now.
That was a really good save on him.
Yes, it was.
That early touch.
It's just unfortunate it was right into the infield grass, so he didn't get that caution.
Well, fortunate yet unfortunate, because
yes, well, unfortunate for him. Yeah.
Unfortunate he didn't get the caution, but fortunate he didn't go into a wall and just completely end his race. I would say that's the biggest thing that I don't miss from the Indy League. because I'm not good enough of a driver to really stay at the front of the pack all the time. And I have no issues admitting that. I don't spend enough time practicing. But man, was it tough. You get that touch, you end up in a wall.
Get that touch, you get that air wash, yeah.
You get into the pits and they're like, too much damage, your race is done.
You were done. Yeah, I had that at New Hampshire the other week.
The blood does boil a little. Boy, Booker is running. Does he know something we don't? Or is he's already out of draft.
What is he doing? I mean, he must be confident in how much he saved, because I don't think he would do this otherwise. And there goes Dawson. Dawson's like, I got to move.
Yep.
We're at four to go. And
4 laps, yeah.
The real question is, does Derek have enough fuel?
Well, Dawson's already pulled within under a second. So he should be close, if not on top of... he's already caught him.
Yeah, he's caught him 0.3 of a second now.
He's got that draft. Oh.
Here we go. Yeah,
Looks like Bill just didn't save enough.
Nope, he's... you can tell he went to conserve mode.
Me personally, if I were Dawson, I would still wait another lap or two. So we're down to what, 2 laps?
2 to go now, yep. I mean, this race is Derek versus Dawson. Nope. I thought he was running out. Just kidding. False alarm. He was kind of making that dive like he was having to dive for the pits, but nope. We are coming around. The white flag is out. Will Derek Booker have enough fuel to get him around one more time?
What kind of move does Dawson
have left? He's trying to here he comes. And there he goes to the outside.
Putting some moves. You're going to have to go inside, Dawson.
Derek is hugging that low line extremely well. And here we go, coming around, down to the apron. And Derek Booker wins tonight. Wow.
Oh!
Wow.
Celebration earlier than expected.
And the flags didn't work, so I had to... I'm very.
That was a good race.
Yep, that was a great finish. Congratulations, Derek. Had a long streak of not winning, and now he's won 2 in a row. We'll have him join the booth here with our top 3. You know, Erik and Ian cut the lead to under 10 seconds, so it was a good strategy. Just a little too late. Mm-hmm. There he goes, spinning across the line. So he's got enough to celebrate. The dynamic debris still looks a little cartoony.
Yeah.
It's just like, all of a sudden, here's a dirt patch. There he is. Celebrating the win. So while Derek burns it down, we wait for him to come on in. Here are your final results, with Derek Booker taking the win, followed by Dawson Buchanan in second. Bill Malfield finishes third tonight. Erik Richardson fourth. Ian Miller fifth. And Greg Hammond rounds out sixth place. So we'll see if we got Dawson here with us. Dawson, good evening.
Yep, how's it going?
And we're also joined by Bill Malfield, finished third tonight.
Good evening.
Good evening. Congratulations to both of you. That was a so we'll start with Bill. You know, you led quite a bit in that second half of the race, and did you get nervous about fuel towards the end?
Oh yeah, it was a definite. You know, I actually ran out of gas coming out of 4. I tried to let some of them go by me. You know, then of course, you know, I can get back to half throttle, but when I come out of the pits for the second stint, I was 3.2 gallons short.
Nope.
And then I was able to get it right to coming out at turn 4. But I had to, of course, give up first place. So, but the car was good. The racing was fun. And thoroughly enjoyed my run tonight.
That was a good run. Leading laps, finishing third. You can't complain about that. And congratulations again.
Yes, thank you guys.
And
thank you.
Moving on.
Congrats, teammate.
So our impromptu booth. 2 hours ago, we didn't think that it would be Erik Mattingly and me manning the booth. So it's got to be ready at moment's notice. So Dawson Buchanan. Dawson, you jumped in to, I think this was your scheduled race. Congratulations on the second place finish.
Yep, thank you.
So what about you as far as fuel? We were watching you kind of lurk back there behind the lead group. Were you, how much of that second stint was in fuel saving mode?
Pretty much all of the second stint was in fuel saving mode up until those, like the last 2 laps, really. We were good on fuel after pitting the first time, the halfway mark, and then I think we were good by 2 laps or so, and then I think we had the lead, and I was just running flat out, and the next thing I know, like 3 laps later, I was 3 laps short on fuel, so had to let everybody get in front of me there and just ride and save. But I mean, overall, like, that was a ton of fun. These Indy cars they're a lot different than what I'm used to, but I want to say thank you too to John Miles, team owner there, for hopping on the box, helping us with the fuel save, and then Lane Snow hopping on the spotter stand there, giving us some nice calls too. But yeah,
got the full team effort tonight. So again, congratulations on the second place finish.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And tonight's winner, he couldn't buy a win for months, and now he's won 2 in a row. Derek Booker, congratulations on your second win in a row.
I appreciate it. What's going on?
Hey, that's you had a scary start to the race with you and Greg touching right on the right in front of the start finish line on, I believe, lap 1. What went through your mind during that?
Well, it was Dawson, I think, that was in front of me. I had a massive run on the outside of turn 4, and I didn't see him in my mirror. And yeah, I didn't even realize I made contact until I saw the contact notification on my screen.
And just Greg, yeah, unfortunately that put Greg good 15 seconds back, and eventually led to him getting lapped. And fortunately, we never saw that caution tonight. We ran a full race caution-free this evening.
Yeah, I was starting to sweat. I was begging for my Honda engine to work that fuel mileage miracle, so it did its thing.
As far as fuel saving, we were kind of wondering out loud. Did you know something we didn't? Because you probably were pretty close to running out.
Yeah, I just had it in mix 5, and every now and then I would just hop behind Bill and just let him kind of tow me around, and I just watch my fuel estimates, and I always try to give myself at least 2 extra laps of fuel before I go balls to the walls.
Yeah, we watched you get with 2 to go, and all of a sudden you take off and leave everybody. We're like, whoa, where did that come from? Was not expecting that.
Yeah, I was like I said, I was just begging for that Honda engine to work its magic with fuel saving.
And it paid you off, and you're walking away here winning the Windy City 150. So congratulations on the win.
I will say at first for the first stop I thought I screwed myself when I had completely missed pit entry trying to dive it out of turn 4.
Oh, that's right. We did notice that you had to make a last-minute audible there, and it didn't hurt you too bad.
No, it didn't. But I will talk to Greg about that incident on lap 1, and I'll try to rectify it from there.
All right. Well, you good luck with that. And taking a look at the schedule, we're coming up at Pocono next week, and we've got Mid-Ohio, Indianapolis, Dover, and Auto Club to close out Season 5. We are still prorating people into the series. If you want to join us out there, it's a $1 a race broadcast fee to get yourself in here. We can get in touch with us. There's the link to the Discord in this broadcast, or you can go to frracingonline.com/IRWS. Register. We'll get in touch with you. You could race with us next week at Pocono, so we would love to have you out there. And then coming up tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern, Wednesday Night Dash heads to Auto Club Speedway. You'll see Erik Mattingly, you'll see Bill, you'll see Dawson, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's fortunate that the real-life track is gone, but it's still here in iRacing, and we're still going to run it because it's always a lot of fun.
I was just about to say, wouldn't you guys be racing on the Ghost of Auto Club?
The Ghost of Auto Club. You were right. It is the Ghost of Auto Club, but it's all right. We're keeping its spirit alive. All right, so we're going to go ahead and wrap that up. Just as a last-minute reminder, Derek Booker is your winner tonight in the Windy City 150. And Erik Mattingly, thank you for jumping in. I think Erik might have actually just left the broadcast. But Erik, thank you for jumping in and helping me out tonight. And Taka, get well soon. I wasn't prepared to broadcast tonight, but hopefully you enjoyed the broadcast. So I'm DJ Fluck. And for my partner tonight, Erik Mattingly, we thank you and good night.